Hi there. So this weekend I did IRONMAN Kalmar, Sweden, which didn't turn out the way I planned. But I'm really grateful I got to enjoy and participate in the event anyway. I will give you a short race report here. And also where I get to experience I posted a video last week where I said that the biggest lesson Ironman has taught me was that not to make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. And that was really something that came through this race, and I will tell you why. So to start off, with the swimming. It took me about just a little bit more than 62 minutes. So great swim, felt really easy. Was a little bit choppy out in the closer to the sea, but all in all very good. The perfect temperature, 18.6 or something like that, which is perfect, I think, when you're swimming in the wetsuit, because you tend to be quite warm otherwise. So coming off the swim into T1, I jumped on the bike. Took a good amount of time in T1 to change out on the bike, and we knew we would have headwind the first 50 kilometers or so. So I had decided already to keep it quite easy on the bike, trying to keep my power below 200 watts on average the first 50 kilometers. Then we turned, we got some wind from the back and pushed on, and then we had wind in the back for another like 30 kilometers or so. Everything went smooth. I had to stop one time just because of my saddle pose actually on my new bike came down. So I had to stop by a bike mechanic and adjust, raise it, tighten it even more. Anyway, went good. I came into back on Kalmar, because first you make a loop on like 120 kilometers on an island, land, and then you're back on mainland, Kalmar, and then there's another loop, 60 kilometers. So when I came back on 120 kilometers, it felt good, but I started to feel a little bit, my stomach started to feel a little bit iller. So I have had problems before where I can't take in the energy and I start throwing up, and that started to feel around 130 kilometers into the race. And when I got to the aid station at 140 kilometers, I actually had to stop, and I emptied the stomach, and I just couldn't even think of these sugary liquids anymore. I just turned as soon as I tried to take in. So I threw up for a while, threw off all the remaining energy bottles, and just took on water on the bike to carry the last 30 or 40 kilometers into T2. And I also knew I had to reduce the speed and the power, just not to empty myself. But all in all, I rolled on good the last 40 kilometers as well. The speed was of course reduced. I was hoping to average about 33 kilometers, but I ended up just doing like 31 kilometers per hour, which I'm fine with that. That's no problem at all. But one stop or two stops, and then reduce speed because of not feeling well. Reduce the average speed, of course. Came into T2, and it was quite hot, warm outside. I'm not sure about the actual temperature, but it felt really warm. And I also knew that since I couldn't take in energy or water, I just decided I will walk, because it's impossible for me to run under those circumstances. So I ended up walking, and in Kalmar there's a 3-lap course, each lap 14 kilometers. And well, I truly had to remind myself, don't make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. And in that moment, that can mean a lot of things, of course. I'm not saying it should, depending on the situation, it will mean different things. But for me, in that sense, it meant, since I just want to, you might feel like you just want to jump off and the race and do a DNF, because walking a marathon, even when you're fresh, that's a long time. For me, the walk took about 6.5 hours, which is a long time to be out walking. But then again, I had to remind myself of this. I mean, it's very temporary. It's just those hours, and then I get to enjoy the benefits of having the medal, having finished yet another race. And also, I mean, there's a lot of things to be grateful for. Before the week, actually before the race, I had a feeling in my Achilles, in my right foot, which was actually aching quite a lot. So I was a little bit afraid that I wouldn't be able to run. And I couldn't feel that at all when I walked. Didn't have any problem whatsoever. And even now, after the race, I don't have this feeling in my foot anymore, which is great. So I'm not sure if that long walk healed anything, or just, well, something. And also, I mean, I didn't have any serious bike issues on the mechanic problems on the bike. I actually saw after the race, one guy, he had got, I'm not sure what kind of mechanical issues he had, but at 145 kilometers of the bike, his bike broke down, and he decided to run with his bike in his cycle shoes the last 35 kilometers of the bike leg into T2, changed to running shoes, and out on the marathon. That's a long day. That's determination. And I mean, I could pedal my whole way during the race, and I just had to walk the remaining marathon. And also, I mean, I didn't have any other issues. Of course, I threw up a lot of times during the race, but I mean, I felt ill, but I wasn't like sick or seriously hurt or something like that, which is perfect. And also, since I'm doing another Ironman in October, I'm going to Hawaii, Kona, to do that. Since I didn't run the marathon, it wasn't that challenging on the body either, so maybe that was good in the end as well. The whole race took me about 13 hours 30 minutes, which is a long day. After the race, I was quite drained, feeling really empty and tired. So I spent like 1 hour probably in athlete's guarding, refueling, recovering. And after that, I went to pick up my bike and the bags. And then I finished around 8:30 p.m. And then I probably left athlete's garden like 9:30 p.m. And then I went to get my bike, and when I was done there, it was probably around 10 p.m. And then it's like pitch black. And when I walked to the car to leave my gear, I still saw a lot of people out on the run course. I mean, they were also walking, because they are probably, I mean, taking their time a good time on the bike, and who knows whatever happened to them, but they're still out there on the course. And I was so grateful that it only took me 13 hours, 30 minutes to finish the whole race. And those are the real heroes that are out on the course so many hours, probably closer to 16 hours for the whole day. And that's tough. That's, well, yeah, that's a long day. So many things to be grateful, even though the race didn't go as I planned. But then again, I finished one more Ironman. This was my 18th Ironman. And well, just 1 week before the race, I wasn't even sure if I would do the run leg of the race at all, because I didn't want to risk anything before Kona. And now I had to, or decided to, walk, which was kind of risk-free. So maybe that was also something good that came out of this race. Another thing was that I was traveling down with two friends. One of them was doing his second Ironman, and the other guy was doing his first ever Ironman. Both of them did great races. Stefan, who did his second Ironman, finished just over, I think, 11 hours. Did a wonderful race. Pushed hard on the bike, did a strong swim, and finished off with a nice marathon. Niklas, who did his first Ironman ever, also, I'm not sure about his times, but I met him once on the run. Also pushed through really good and finished strong on his first ever Ironman, that is really, really good. Nice that we all finished and got the medal and the t-shirt in the end. Feels really good. I also had another couple of friends that finished. So all in all, great weekend. Kalmar is a great location for doing Ironmans. The spectators are just fabulous. I heard something that on the swim that there are like 20,000 people watching the swim start, and which is amazing. And I actually started backstroke the first like 50 meters just to be able to watch the crowd on the swim, because otherwise you're just facing down the water and it's just black. Amazing crowd. Same with I mean, the bike, of course, it's long, so there are not that many spectators, but there are spectators all around the course. And on the run course, or in my case the walk course, they are just amazing. The spectators in Kalmar are the best. They are, yeah, it's hard to describe, but they're having parties in their gardens. There's a whole street that have, like, in a yeah, Neptunusgatan it's called. There are just like 1 kilometer of a party going on, and they are cheering all day on every athlete. So that's endurance, if something. So I'm really grateful to be part of that as well. Just to get to enjoy the party and the event. And you just have to, well, I shouldn't say push yourself, because I mean, walking isn't really pushing in that sense. But you just have to take one step after another. I mean, and just continue. So really great weekend, even though not according to plan, but I will start to train for the next event now. I'm ready for what is that called? Revenge. Yeah, revenge. I know that Kona will be really, really hot and really, really windy. I'm not used to, I'm not good at running in heat. I mean, I live in Sweden. We don't have a lot of heat, even in the summer. And that will be hard. So, but it will be fun. I'm not sure what will happen, but I'm sure it will be fun and interesting and exciting. Oh well, that's it for this race report. See you next time. Bye.